Peri Solutions. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new videos. Today we're going to talk about how we change the subject of a formula. Right? So I'm going to demonstrate by just the simple equation which says 3x plus 1 is equal to 12. So solving for x, what happens is that we know we take this one to the right hand side, such that we've got 3x is equal to 12 minus 1, then that will be now 11, and then dividing both sides by 3, x would be 11 over 3. So this is the value of x. But what is actually happening in fact is that we've made x the subject of the formula. So now let's take this example. Let's say now 3, let 3 be m, right? And then b be 1, then a would be 12. So solving for x the exact same way, we know we are taking b to the side, such that mx would be a minus b. Then solving for x, we are dividing both sides by m, such that x would be a minus b over m. Right? So this is how we make, or this is how we change the subject of the formula. So now we've written this formula in terms of x, just the same way as if we were solving an equation. So now I would like to attempt these 12 questions which require us to make x the subject of the formula. So allow me to erase this part. Okay, so the first one, we've got x plus a is equal to t, and making x subject of the formula, we know we're just taking this a to the right hand side, such that for number 1, we'll be having x being equal to t minus a. Just that, then we're done. Then for number 2, we've got cx is equal to r plus t. So making x subject of the formula, to get rid of this c, it means we're dividing both sides by c. Right, and then this c and that c will cancel, such that x would be equal to r plus t over c. Then for number 3, we've got n squared minus x, sorry, n squared plus x is equal to t. So making x subject of the formula, we want to get rid of this n squared, which is adding to x. So what we do is that we simply take this to the right hand side, such that x would be equal to t minus n squared. Right, that's for number 3. And then for number 4, we've got x plus q over n being equal to b squared. So now there are a couple of steps that we might have to take to make x subject of the formula. First of all, we have to remove this denominator, which means we have to multiply both sides by n, right, like that. Right. Then we get rid of the denominator. So now we've got x plus q being equal to nb squared, right, like that. And then now making x subject of the formula, we are taking q from the left hand side to the right hand side, and then we know that the sign will change. So x would be nb squared minus q. Right, simply that. And then now for number 5, with number 5, we've got ax plus b over c being equal to d. So as well, first of all, we get rid of the denominator by multiplying both sides by c. Right. And then we've got ax plus b being equal to cd. Right. The next step would be to get rid of this b. So we're moving this b from the left hand side to the right hand side. And then we've got ax being equal to cd minus b. And now getting rid of this a that is multiplying x. Right. We're dividing both sides by the a. Right. This a and this a cancel, such that x, this follows that x would be equal to cd minus b over A, right? This is for number 5. Then for number 6, we've got F times nx minus E over M being equal to B. So making x subject of the formula, first of all, we have to get rid of the denominator. So multiplying both sides by M, and then times M. This M and that M will cancel, right? And then now we've got F times nx minus E being equal to Bm, like that. And then now next is to get rid of this F, that is multiplying what's inside the brackets. So we're dividing both sides by F. And that F will cancel, such that nx minus E is equal to Bm over F, like that. And then now we have to take this minus E from the left hand side to the right hand side. Then we know that the sign will change. So this follows that nx would be equal to Bm over F plus E, like that, right? And then now, making x subject of the formula, we have to divide both sides by n. So of course, if we were to make this 1 is a single fraction, we have to rewrite this as nx being equal to F over then Bm plus EF, like that. Such that when we divide by n both sides, we've got x being equal to 1 over n times Bm over F plus EF, like that. So EF, this is all over F. So Bm plus EF all over F. And then of course, we know that n times F will simply give us Fn or NF, whatever way we decide to write it. But this will be the final answer. So now let's move on to number 6. Allow me to create space here. So I'm going to erase this. Okay, so now moving on to number 7, we want to make x subject of the formula, but first of all we have to get rid of the denominator. So multiplying both sides by a, right, that a and that a will cancel, such that for number 7 we'll be now having k squared times a minus x being equal to a times a, which is a squared. And then now dividing both sides by k squared, get rid of that. Dividing both sides by k squared, then by k squared. This and this will cancel, such that a minus x is equal to a squared over k squared. In making x subject of the formula, in this case we've got minus x. So now if we take this minus x to the right hand side, the sign will change to a positive. And then if we take this a squared over k squared to the left hand side, the sign will change to a negative, such that m minus a squared over k squared would be now equal to x. And now that will be the final result that we get for number 7. Then now for number 8, 3m is equal to m plus n over p plus x. Right. So first of all, grouping like terms, we shall take m to the left hand side, such that 3m minus m will give us 2m. Right. And then 2m would be now equal to n over p plus x. Right. Now we have to get rid of this denominator, which means you're multiplying both sides by p plus x. Right. Then times p plus x, like that, such that we've got 2m times p plus x being equal to, this and this will cancel, that will be equal to n. And then now we shall divide both sides by this 2m, right, 2m, then by 2m, and this will cancel, this is m, such that p plus x is equal to n over 2m. Right. And then making x subject of the formula, we're taking p to the right hand side, such that x would be equal to n over 2m minus p. So this will be the final result that we get for number 8. And now let's move on to number 9. Okay, so now for number 9, we've got t is equal to w minus q over x. So now first our aim would be to make this minus q over x a positive, which means you shall take it to the left hand side, then you take t to the right hand side, such that we've got q over x being equal to w minus t. Right. And then of course we can multiply both sides by x, such that q would be x times w minus t. Then making x subject of the formula, we are dividing both sides by w minus t. Right. Such that this and this will cancel. Then x will be equal to q over w minus t. Is the final answer. Right. This is for number 9. Now for number 10, we've got the root of m minus nx being equal to p. So we know the square root means that m minus nx is raised to the power of half. So we can rewrite this as m minus nx raised to the power of half being equal to p. So now to remove this to the power of half, it means we can square both sides. Right, this 2 and this 2 cancel, such that m minus nx is equal to p squared. Then of course, if we take nx minus nx to the right hand side, the sign will change. Right, so this goes there and then this goes there. Such that m minus p squared is equal to nx. Then dividing both sides by n to make x subject of the formula, x would be equal to m minus p squared over n. Is the final answer. This was for number 10. Now moving on to number 11, same situation, yeah? We've got the square root of m over x being equal to n, which you can rewrite as m over x raised to the power of half being equal to n. So now removing the to the power of half, we can square both sides, right? Raise both sides to the power of 2, this and this cancel, then m over x would be equal to n squared. So now if you multiply both sides by x, m would be equal to x n squared. Then if we divide both sides by n squared, x would be equal to m over n squared. Like that. So now that's how we do number 11. And then lastly, let's look at number 12. Okay, now for number 12, we've got v minus x over v plus x being equal to 1 over 2. So we know we can cross multiply, right? If you multiply 2 times v minus x being equal to 1 times v plus x, which will just give us v plus x. Like that. And then now we can remove these brackets. 2v minus 2x is equal to v plus x. Then grouping like terms, we are taking v this side, then minus 2x that side. Such that we've got 2v minus v being equal to 2x plus x. Then v would be equal to 3x, and dividing both sides by 3, x would be equal to v over 3. So this would be the final answer that we get for number 12. Okay, so this was for changing the subject of a formula, and please feel free to leave a comment, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.